Welcome to this week's session of the Guiding Ohio Online Grant, brought to you by the Putnam County District Library. And this week we are looking at another Google tool. This would be Google Sites. Google Sites is where you have the ability to create a website that is free. A benefit of this is that it does work well with any mobile device of any kind. It's a great site to create, especially if it's just a basic, you want 5 to 10 page website. And it does use the HTTPS, which makes things much better for the users. And then along with that, when you are creating the site, it is a great place for beginners because it's very simplistic in its design. So we're going to jump over here to my Google account that I have, and I am going to go to my Google Apps, and I'm going to go to Drive. From Drive, when I go to New, if I go down to my More, I have the option of Google Sites. So when Google Sites comes up here, what you will see in front of you is the start of a site. The first thing that you're going to want to do is, I'm going to look across the top, you're going to want a title. Just like with everything in Google, it always comes up untitled. So I'm just going to put a title here, a practice library site. And then I am going to go across and show you how, again, we have our undo and our redo buttons. So if I were to click undo, it's going to get rid of anything that I've done. Undo, of course. And then the nice thing is there is this option to preview. When you click on preview, what this allows you to do is you will preview what your site looks like, and it can look like what it would look like on a large screen or a tablet or a cell phone. So those come in very handy because you can get an idea of what the site's going to appear to with different people. When I click on the X to take it back to my screen, I have the ability to create and add links. I also have the ability, just like with every other Google product, to share with others. And again, I would put in the individuals I want to share with, and I can simply make it that they are able to view the site or that they have the ability to actually edit and make changes. I have the settings, which we'll look at a little bit more later, and then I have my hamburger buttons here, as they refer to them, with the different options of where, like, if I wanted to look at my history of what I've done so far as I work on my page, or if I would like to duplicate my site. So we're going to look then here at the sidebar, and we have insert, pages, and themes. The first thing that you're going to want to look at is themes, because themes has the different options. Now they are fairly simplistic, and you are kind of stuck with the colors and the font that it shows. So if I look at the simple, I've got these different color options. I have these different font options. Same thing, if I just go down the list, and as I click, you can see how this is changing over here, and you can see how my colors are changing as well as how my font styles are changing. I'm going to, for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to click on Vision. Again, I can change my colors. So if I click on green, it's making my bar across the top green here. And same thing with my font styles. I can change the style of the font. So I'm going to simply go up above here. I am going to type in library demonstration. Notice what happens. It did drop down below. If I want, I can again grab and expand. so that I could make it all one solid line here, and I can click and simply drag over. If you will notice there are like, as I did that, there's lines. So they were pretty faint, but there's an actual kind of graphing lines back there. And you'll notice that more as we work here, as we down below where we don't have an image. There are different header types as well. You can make what is referred to as a large banner. You can make just a simple banner. You can do the title only, or you can do a cover. Cover seems to be, anymore you see a lot of colleges, universities. It seems like a lot of websites anymore are using this color format. I'm going to take this back to banner. And then the other option you have is, I had the header type, but I also had the ability to change an image. So I can click and I can upload an image, or I can select an image. I'm going to click on upload, and it's going to take me to my computer, and I could select different images. So I'm just going to simply select this books image, open that up. And now what I want you to notice is this is adjusting the readability, but you can also click and turn that readability off. So you're going to get a different appearance to that, to your image. And I'm actually going to leave my readability on. Up above here, where I have my edit, my site name, again, I could put, I'm just going to put Putnam Library. I also have the ability to add a logo. So if I have a logo for my specific business or myself, or something that I use, I can go and notice what happened is that did jump out here to my settings. So I could simply click upload, and I could pick, again, I'm just going to pick car, even though that doesn't really apply as the logo, but we'll pick that anyway. So when I click this now, I've got a logo along with my name here at the top. Now, this is the themes, kind of went through those pages. When you are doing a website, the first page that comes up is the home page, and you can see it has the little house beside it. Down here below, I have the option to add a new page or add a new link. I'm going to add a page, and I'm just going to title this one, I'll just do cars. And then I'm going to title another page, and it's going to be animals. Notice what's happening across the top here. I have my different pages coming across, and one of the key things to remember when you're working in Google Sites is that whatever is highlighted here, that's the page you're actually working on. And then the other part of this is when I click here and go back to home, I'm back on my home page. Another option that is available to you, let's say I wanted to add a page, and for some reason let's name this page, I don't know, let's name it dogs. And say for some reason I did not want this page to be visible in my menu across the top. I can click out here to the side, and I can do what is referred to as hide from navigation. So now I have that page, but it's not visible up here in my menu. The other thing is we can make what would instead of having this here, I'm going to delete this out, but I'm going to add, I've got my home page, my cars, and my animals. I'm going to add a page here, but I'm going to make it a sub page. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to look for the sub page titled dogs. I'm going to make another sub page, and I'm going to name this cats. What it's doing is notice I've got my drop down that popped up here. And so now I have my home page, these pages below my homepage, and then I have a sub page of animals. So that's kind of how you would have your layout, your formats. If I wanted to add a page that would be a link, I could click on here for a link, and then what I would do is I would put in the address for the link. So I've got on my screen here, I have the Putnam County District Library. I'm going to copy this. So I'm Control C is what I'm doing, or right clicking to copy, depending on the device you're on. And I'm going to go back here to my Google site that I'm making, and I am going to go up. I'm going to make sure I'm here at the home page. I am going to go to new link. I'm going to copy V or right click again and paste in, and I'm going to put library site. And so now what happens is across the top, I have my library site. So when I click, it's going to take me on and it's redirecting me out to the library. That's what it's doing. The other part of this is I can simply click and drag and move my pages around. So notice this has happened across the top here, and now I've got a different view. And then the last thing here to look at is we've got our home page, and everything down here obviously on our page is still blank. So I'm going to go to Insert, and this is where you can pick when you want to add text, images, embed, or if you want to get, if you have documents and slides and created in your own personal Drive account that you want to add, you would go here. This is the different layouts you could pick. So I could simply click the layout, and then it's going to pop that layout in for me automatically. So I've already got a layout that where I could add an image, or I can add what would be like the header text as well as text information. So if I click here, I'm going to go to select image, and I am going to go out here. I'm going to do a Google search, and I am going to simply type in library clip art, and I am going to click on that and say insert, and then that's the image that we get added. Now I can click and drag. I can make my image bigger. I can move it around. Say for some reason I don't want it here, I want it on this side. This is what I was talking about. When I click, you can see how those lines pop up to help me with my alignment. So then what's happening is I've moved it over to the other side of the page. Again, I can click here. I can add my text in. I can make it italics. I can make it bold. I can make it center it if I choose. I could actually make this a link if I wanted, or I can just clear on my formatting or delete. Over here on the side, what's popped up is the ability to change my background. So I can click. Now the only options I have available are grayscale, because it's all based upon the theme that you've chosen. Or I can click on emphasis, which will make it a dark color there. And I can add an image if for some reason I wanted to add an image to the back instead. I could do the same thing. There's these gallery ones that automatically pop up. I could click and add those. Notice what happened is it did adjust it to readability. So it's looking to see kind of what the color of my text is and making sure that it's readable, just like it says. I can also, if for some reason I've got this section designed a certain way that I would maybe, just for the sake, maybe I just want to change the text, I could duplicate, and so it's going to make it right below there. with these, I'm gonna change this just for the sake of making it easier to tell. So this is we'll call this school just because you see how if I click out here where I've got these kind of lined up dots. If I click here and drag, I can move school above library. So just click and drag, and it moves those to a different location. I also here along the side then, below my layouts, I have the ability to add text that would maybe collapse. I can do a table of contents. I can add buttons. I can add YouTube. So if I wanted to, I'm going to go to YouTube here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to what I know is the Putnam County District Library's YouTube page. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to go back here to my website that I'm creating. And I am going to paste that in. Not finding it. Let's go back and try it again. Let's go copy. And let's go back here to paste. For some reason, it's not liking what I'm pasting in. I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, let's go back out here. Let's find oh, you know what? I know why it is. It's because I'm going to I'm trying to go to a specific one. So let's go, a couple weeks ago we did Google Draw. So I'm going to go Google Draw here. I'm going to hit copy. Just on myself. You're hearing me in double. Scary. Okay, so I'm going to go back here to the website. I'm going to try this again. Let's paste it in here. Now, notice how what I was doing before was I was trying to go to Putnam County's overall YouTube site. I got to go to a specific YouTube demonstrations, basically, is what I'm going to. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to hit select. What happens is then here is that Google or that YouTube site opens up here on my page, and so now I've got a direct YouTube that can be played right from my website. Again, I can click, I can drag it, I can change the size if I wanted it to be smaller. And so now I've got my Google Drawing YouTube that was created a couple weeks ago for the library showing on my Practice Library site. Same thing, another interesting thing is I could do maps. So if I wanted to add a map in, simply I'm going to put an address in. So I am going to put in, I'm trying to remember what the address is. It's 136. And we'll just put, I know it's Putnam Parkway, Ottawa. So if I put in the Putnam Parkway, Ottawa, Ohio, what happens is it's going out, and you can see right here then is the library, and I can say that, yep, select this. This is what I want. This is the map view. I say select, and now I have the map view in. And honestly, what you would do is you would put the actual address in, which I believe for the library is like 136 or something. I'm not positive. So you would have the exact address in, and then you'd be able to see specifically for individuals where you are located on your website. And again, you could shrink this down. So if you just wanted this, maybe, at the bottom of your page or something somewhere, again, all I'm doing is clicking on it and dragging it down. Notice when I'm down here to the bottom, I have this pop up. This says add footer. I'm just going to simply type in copyright. And what will happen is then this footer will appear on every page of your website. So I've got my home, and I have copyright down below. Get ready to see. Again, I have copyright. My library site, what I've done with my library site is it's redirecting out. And so what it's doing is it's opening it into a new tab. And then an animals site, I click, and I have my animals, notice my copyrights down below, and then copyright down below. I accidentally deleted my C out of the copyright there. So those are the basics of creating your own website. And then what you would do is when you're finished, you're going to publish the site, and it's going to provide you then here with this being the web address that you would provide out to individuals. If you want to go where you're going to do a custom website, then you would have to go to another. You can use like Namecheap or GoDaddy, and would actually need to pay for website services then. And those usually you can purchase for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Namecheap at this time, I think, is one of the cheaper ways to go about that in terms of publishing a website if you want to have it so that that particular name of a site is reserved specifically to you. So that is basically Google Sites, a very basic introduction. Next week, we will be looking at Google Keep, which is a tool provided by Google that is helpful with note taking. So, thanks again. Hope you have found this information for you. Welcome to this week's session. The Guiding Ohio Online Grant, brought to you by the Putnam County District Library. And this week we are looking at another Google tool. This would be Google Sites. Google Sites is where you have the ability